My father controlled our family for 30 years. I ended it with a dinner invitation. For 32 years, my father's Sunday dinner was mandatory. The one time I tried to skip when I had the flu, he showed up at my apartment and banged on my door until I got dressed and came. So when my husband got into a car accident on a Sunday afternoon, and I rushed to the hospital instead of my father's house, I knew there would be consequences. My husband was okay, thank God. Broken arm, bruised ribs, a concussion they wanted to monitor overnight. I sat in that hospital room holding his hand while my phone buzzed over and over. I texted my mom that there'd been an accident and I couldn't make it. She said she understood. My father did not understand. He called me 17 times. I silenced my phone after the 5th call because the nurses kept giving me looks. When I listened to his voicemails the next morning, each one was angrier than the last. You're embarrassing me in front of the whole family. I don't care what's happening. You find a way to be here. If you're not at this table in 30 minutes, don't bother coming back. I called him Monday morning to explain what happened. He said, your husband's fine. He didn't need you sitting there watching him sleep. I said my husband was in the hospital and I wasn't going to leave him alone. He said, you made your choice. Now live with it. He hung up on me. My mom called an hour later crying. He's so upset. He says you're not welcome at Sunday dinner anymore. I said that was insane, that my husband was in an accident, that any reasonable person would understand. She said, I know, honey, but you know how he gets. Just apologize and this all goes away. I said I wasn't apologizing for being with my husband in the hospital. She said, sometimes it's just easier to keep the peace. My brother Derek called next. Dad's losing it. He's talking about you nonstop. Can you just be the bigger person for once? You know he won't back down. He never backs down. My sister Becca texted, please just apologize. He's threatening to boycott my engagement party. I can't have him ruin another thing for me. That's when I realized what had been true my whole life. My father held everyone hostage. Every family event, every holiday, every Sunday was spent managing his moods, tiptoeing around his temper, giving him whatever he wanted so he wouldn't explode. We'd spent decades bending ourselves into knots to avoid his reactions. I was done bending. Instead of apologizing, I texted my siblings, Sunday dinner at my place, 5 p.m., you're all invited. The first Sunday, only Becca showed up. She was nervous the whole time, glancing at her phone, jumping every time it buzzed. She said Dad found out and called her screaming that she'd chosen sides, that she was dead to him just like me. She cried in my kitchen but said she was glad she came. The second Sunday, Becca came back and brought her fiance. She said she was tired of being scared of her own father. The third Sunday, Derek showed up with his wife. He said Dad called him a traitor and told him not to bother coming to Sunday dinner ever again. Derek said, good, I'm free. The fourth Sunday, my youngest brother Kyle drove 3 hours to be there. He walked in and said, I should have done this 10 years ago. Now it was all of us, everyone except Mom and Dad. We were halfway through dinner when the pounding started. My front door shook like someone was trying to break it down. I opened it and my father was standing there, face red, hands trembling with rage. What the hell do you think you're doing? I said, hosting Sunday dinner. He looked past me and saw all of his children sitting at my table, his face twisted. All of you, get up, we're going home, right now. Nobody moved. He pointed at Derek. You're the oldest. Get your siblings and let's go. Derek said, no, Dad. He pointed at Kyle. I drove to every single one of your baseball games for 15 years. Every single one. And this is how you repay me? Kyle said, I'm not leaving. He pointed at Becca. I'm not coming to your wedding. You hear me? You're dead to me. Becca's eyes filled with tears, but she didn't move from her seat. He turned to me. You did this. You poisoned them against me. I said, I invited them to dinner. They came because they wanted to. When's the last time anyone came to your table because they actually wanted to be there and not because they were terrified of what you'd do if they didn't show up? He didn't answer. I said, you spent 30 years controlling everyone with guilt and threats and tantrums, and it worked. It worked until you told me I couldn't sit with my husband in the hospital. That was the line, Dad. That was too far. He said, I'm your father. I deserve respect. I said, you deserve what you earn, and you've earned an empty table. He stared at me, then at his children, then back at me. He said, you'll regret this. He left. Dad still hosts Sunday dinner. It's just him and Mom now. Last week, Mom came to mine.